Yes, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Run of Play podcast, where we discuss all things football, in particular the EPL, and from the perspective of our teams. I'm Dr. Toles. We've got the regular panel here. We've got a fantastic show for you tonight. We are going to be discussing, obviously, Man United's comeback, not to win, to a draw against Nottingham Forest. Arsenal still dominating the Premier League right now, still 6 points clear. Liverpool finally winning after like 5 games. Something happening in Tottenham. We're going to be trying to give you a perspective on this. And as usual, please do us a favor, press the like button. Very, very important for the life of a social media person. Subscribe if you're new to the channel and are yet to do so. Please welcome back, Mr. Sheon T, our moderator. How are you feeling today, Mr. Sheon?
I'm doing okay now. It was a good weekend. My team didn't get the result that I thought we deserved, but all in all, we're starting to forget the feeling of losing, and I can't be anything but happy about that.
No, so we got the neutral man to keep everyone in line, Mr. David. How are you feeling today, sir?
It's good. It's a good weekend, like Shonti said. I think everybody had a very nice weekend, and we have like an ice on the cake, something very wonderful happening during the weekend. Not to any one of us concerned, but it's on the side, and to poke fun at. Yeah, so it's good to be back. Good to be back.
All right. So, Mr. Shonti, take us away. Where do you want us to start?
Yeah, no, I think we'll start with rapid reactions to the games that we had this weekend, right? I think starting with our league title defenders, Liverpool versus Aston Villa. Liverpool were at home. They were able to keep a clean sheet. Back in business as usual. I'll start with you, David, before we get to, the current contenders. Is this a sign of things turning around? Finally, Slot has, a W, 3 points.
I mean, it was crucial for them to get that win. Whether this is then going to be a turnaround, we'll have to wait to see. A lot of people speculated, that he tanked the game during the week and sacrificed it for this league game just to make sure he ends that losing streak. So, I mean, it's important to then see where Liverpool go from here. It's great for them to get the 2 goals, to not concede. I mean, I think in the run of 6 games, they've been conceding first. I mean, the other team scores them first. Even when they beat Frankfurt still got the first goal. So it's important. That clean sheet was very important for a defense that everybody has been throwing stones at, for like the past 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah, so the clean sheet was good. The win was good for them. Whether that will be sustained, we would see. I mean, you won't have the opportunity of tanking 1 game for the Premier League game every week or every other week. I mean, you soon have the Champions League games come neck and neck with the Premier League game. So we'll then observe what Slot will do, at those periods. And I think they have a run of very strong fixtures coming up. So a real test of whether they come back
for them. Okay.
Yeah, a real test of whether they are back would find out in November, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean the tools, right? Arsenal is pretending or contending, depending on who you might ask, for the title this season. And some could say that the air has gone out of the Liverpool balloon. You could argue that, their clothes have come off and the Emperor has no clothes and Liverpool are really not the team that we thought they were. Or maybe it was a blip and there's still a long season ahead of us, and maybe Liverpool can still find their feet because they really have very good players. Where do you stand?
So first of all, I would say it's a shame that Martinez, as usual, has those bozo moments, gifting Salah a goal and giving the Liverpool fans something to cheer on, and which later gave the team the ginger to win. It's also a shame that Unai Emery doesn't want to play low blocks against any other team apart from Arsenal, because you've seen Slot complain about low blocks. Why would they want to play them like normal, give them a normal game? I would have loved to see Slot complain again about teams playing low blocks. I would have seen I would love to see Slots complain again if they lost. But it's good to have a win. Like finally, after like 5 games, it's not bad. At least we need people to challenge Arsenal, so they don't say that Arsenal are very, very lucky if they end up winning the league, So we want people to be winning games. Man City should be winning games. United should be winning games, so that when Arsenal hopefully eventually wins, hopefully, we can say that it was well deserved. I know that
Your full
people
chest.
fell off because last season when Liverpool won the league, people were saying that because Arsenal fell off, Man City fell off, Chelsea fell off. We don't want that kind of excuse this kind of season. So well done to Liverpool. Keep winning, not too much.
It's
Just
not
keep
on
winning,
the
and then we
it's
see.
not on the sack watch. Yes or no? Like if he's
No,
third,
no.
18 points or so, same points with Bournemouth. He's really, I think, 3 points or so ahead of 2 points, 1 point, I think, ahead of Man United. If you can imagine the horror for Liverpool fans.
Yes.
So, and as David said, they have tough pictures ahead of them. So could Slot find himself, like basically Liverpool find himself in a situation where 3 games from now, they have maybe one more win out of 3, right? Or none.
I would like to go
Just
first. I think that first of all, the fans that were shouting slot out should be ashamed. Your manager just won the league, first of all, right? And you have some key players injured. You have new players gelling into the team. That's fine. But on the other hand, I don't think that Slot is on sack watch until the end of the season. Obviously the board will have to give him to the end of the season. It's if he doesn't make top 4 from this position, because there's still lots of games to gain ground. A lot of American owners don't really care whether you win the league or not. As long as you're in that Champions League, getting that Champions League money, they'll be fine. But if it doesn't make at least the top 4 and it's like in
I
Europa
don't know,
League
man.
or scrapping, it's like finishing like 6th or 7th, then they might consider bringing in someone else. Klopp has already said
I
that
don't know.
he's happy to come back to Liverpool someday. So if that is happening, they might be contacting Klopp and be like, okay, maybe you had your 1 year sabbatical. Do you want to come back to the hot seat?
No,
But
they have to call Klopp now, right? There, because Liverpool spent 200 million on 2 players. Like literally, like they thought they were going to be able to spend 100 million on one Florian Wirtz, and then spend another 100 million on Isak, and then spend another 80 or so million on the striker that Newcastle were going to buy to replace Isak. So they
and
have
then they keep
2.
not complaining of no squad depth at the same time. Yeah.
And the manager has the audacity to talking about how they actually plan to play young people in the Carling Cup, and that's why blah 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 blah. Sack what you're not, Slot.
No, I would say no. And as much as I want it, I want him to be on sack watch, because it will just be a lot more fun for us neutrals. But I would say no, and that's because of Liverpool's history with managers. I don't think Liverpool is a team that just chops and changes. They usually, like Dr. Tobe said, would always give you to the end of the season. It would take something drastic, like 14th position in January. That's when Liverpool
Okay.
then decide, okay, guy, you need to go, because if you're 14th position in January or 13th position in January, that top 4 is threatened, and because that top 4 is threatened, they will want to bring somebody in to at least try and get that top 4. Do you understand? But Liverpool and their owners, the FSG guys, and they're not known for chopping and changing. They really don't change.
Let's switch gears to let's switch gears to another recent title dominating team, Man City. Today seemed like a throwback to Man City of old. Routine win, Haaland scoring a few goals. Dr. Toves, Man City, they're the team that you guys are really concerned about, right? Like
Yes.
they're the nightmare, like the nightmare on Emirates Street.
That's a good one. Yes. No, I'm happy that Pep won. No, I'm lying. I was hoping for a draw. I was hoping for a draw. When Bournemouth equalized, I think I was like, okay, maybe this is how the game is going to go. It's going to be a glass balls, and then Haaland decided to strike again. And no, it's nice. And I'm also, on the other hand, excited that most of the goals is coming through Haaland, which means when Haaland gets his usual, I know he's going to win the Golden Boot because obviously he's scoring 2 goals. There's no way you can, like, if he keeps scoring 2 goals, he'll probably get the Golden Boot. It's already 11 goals. Everyone else is like on 6, on 5. So he might still get his Golden Boot, individual trophies. But if there's no Haaland, there is not a lot of goals in that Man City team. So that's still a copium for me right now. So I'm not too worried about Manchester City unless other people start scoring, like then Foden start scoring and then Mamouche and Sheki, then I might be concerned. But for now, they should keep winning. It's cute. It's cute when they win, I'm enjoying my 6 points lead for now. Until we drop points, then I'll be concerned. But for now, why should I be worried? Mount Everest, I'm not concerned about Ulumorok, basically.
Right. I mean, David, Haaland is
David is licentious.
For all his, for all his freakishness, right? Haaland is still only, I think, less than 25 years old. So when we're talking about like injuries, right? It's like he's still at his peak elasticity, durability. Haaland is ready to wake up every single day and continue to terrorize the league. And then behind him, you have Doku, who is lucky, to be playing with one of the best managers that the game has ever seen. So whatever, like
this season, though. He's been playing.
Doku has been playing well this season. Whatever you thought of him as a player, now that he gets to learn from Pep and work with him, he's going to get the Sterling treatment. You're going to see at least 2 or 3 years of him maximum output, performing well under Pep. And then you have what he's trying to figure out behind them with Foden, and they tried this Gonzalez guy today, Ruben Diaz, Guardiola, this O'Reilly and Manchester United at the back. They have a squad. What do you think Pep can really achieve this season, right? If they by some miracle they're second, right? If they by some miracle give these pretenders a run for their money, what are we to make of? What are we to make of Pep?
Well, I mean, aside from the bleep last season, everyone always, hails the comeback that Man City does every time. I mean, they've done that time and time again. The first half of the season, they just maintain the pace. They chase whoever is leading. They are always behind you by maybe 4 or 5 points, and then from January, it's like a wrecking ball. They just come and then smash. Yes, but we saw that not happening last season, right?
Well,
so whatever.
They still had a good run towards the end of the season.
They still had a good run, though. Yeah, they still had a good run.
It was too late.
It's still in there.
But it was too late, yeah. So quality has never been a problem for Pep and that Man City team. Yes, maybe he caught up with them at some point last season, but even those players were still quality players. Some of them have moved to other places and they're doing well. So it's not a lack of squad depth. It's not a lack of quality. I think it's down to Pep himself, right? And his players playing like they lack initiative on the field. Yes, today was different. I think Ryan Cherki coming back from injury, that guy is
helps them.
He really helps them. It would still be down to Pep at the end of the day, right? Other managers are waking up, like something you pointed out last week. There are some young managers with some other teams who are doing well, and I was disappointed that Iraola didn't do what he did last season again. Today, I'm not sure. Pep got more than a draw, against Bournemouth last season, and I think the only time they beat Bournemouth was in the cup, right? It was in a cup competition. Beat Bournemouth. In the league, it was the other way around. So, so there are those young guys who are catching up, and he has not been up to his game, and I would say that for free. And I still see them, stumbling, occasionally before this season ends. Right. I still feel they will stumble. Whether the teams around them will now pounce and take advantage, I don't know. But they will still stumble. Relying on one person. I mean, he's a goal machine. Let's not get it twisted. He's a goal machine. Any team he goes, any team, they will rely on someone like Haaland, right? But what happens when Haaland doesn't deliver? Yeah, maybe now that Shaq is back.
Why does Man City? I think for me the challenge I'm having is why does Man City have to plan for such a situation, right? Like why do they have to? Of course,
the quality they have, right? Yeah, they have quality that should naturally just step in, and get the job done.
No, not naturally. Like nobody can step in for Haaland, right? And so there's no planning for what if Haaland is not there, because Haaland is Haaland. There's no you cannot have somebody else who can step in for Haaland on the bench, because if that
While
person can do
Haaland
what
is
Haaland
there.
can do, then that person is Haaland,
But that's
right?
why they
Yeah.
signed Marmoush, though. Marmoush was scored like 20 goals in his league before he came to the Premier League. And he was also scoring, he scored some goals last season. I know this season is not yet clicked with the team, but that's the reason why he's there. Obviously, you said
He's
Haaland
just
is
back
Haaland.
from injury. He's just back from injury.
Oh,
yeah.
that's true.
I think
Well,
So you say Haaland is Haaland, because even the goals he scored today, like a lot of strikers will not finish, like they don't have that finish in them. But at the same time, it's still the same City that won the league with no striker. Not so long ago, like 2-3 seasons ago. So why are people saying like surely they should be able to do it again? It's still the same coach. Right?
But like the point that David made that I agree with is that like you had players like that got older, like De Bruyne, right? Like their midfielders. What's the guy's name?
Foden was instrumental in their treble season and the 4 seasons in a row, right?
Yeah.
He's still the same Foden there. They have Savino now. They have Mamouche. They have Sheki. Sheki is playing very well.
But Foden was the icing on an already well done cake, right? That cake was baked. Yeah, he wasn't this thing. What I think what Pep is chasing, which is what me as a United fan, right, I'm scared of, right? The only legacy that is remaining is the Alex Ferguson legacy of being able to recycle different generations of the same team. So you bring some kids up, you bring them from kids to adults, you dominate the league with them. Those ones retire. You start again with a new crop of youngins, and you teach them again. So Ole Fergie has, and as a Wenger in the second half time around, that's when Troops and Don Robbie and all these Arsenal guys, he wanted to kill him. He didn't get to. As a Wenger didn't really get to do that whole double recycling. He did it once with the Thierry and all those guys, and brought them and played well. Trying to do it again with Fabregas and Giroud, sorry. And that second crop of kids, the corruption of Emirates money and all that kind of stuff didn't allow him to survive. No, it's part of it now. Started chasing profits. But that's a legacy that I think Pep might be chasing now. And I think I take some solace in the fact that maybe he wouldn't be able to achieve it for a few years, and hopefully, because I don't think he's able to adjust to the idea of not winning. He's having like a hard time more than anybody else.
Yes.
So hopefully that catches up with him in a way that causes him to crash and burn. And so, he never gets to really build. Because if he does, I think, we just have to crown him. Like that's Fergie's legacy there for the taking. Yeah, but let's move on to the people who are leading the pack now. Arsenal Football Club. Every day the record continues. If the closest thing to the Invincibles, I think you would say.
Calm down,
No, wait now, because I think Arsenal have earned their credibility, and you have to give them the flowers. You have to give Mikel Arteta the flowers, right? Because there's just some. I think it will rant and say something interesting about Arsenal. Like you guys, the reason why Arsenal fans talk crazy is that they've forgotten what it's like to lose matches. Like generally, Arsenal you don't lose games often. Like just somehow in the recent history, it's just not in your in your DNA, not in your character. It just doesn't happen that often.
That feeling United fans used to have once upon a time. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, the feeling, and it's ridiculous, right? When you talk about it out loud, it's just this because there's an arrogance that comes with it. There's a kind of like it becomes a self-fulfilling thing, like with Arsenal and corner kicks. So this has to be the year.
Yeah, you guys.
This has to be the year, surely, Dr. Toast, right? This has to be the time where, because like you said, 6 points ahead. All the times that you guys were 6 points ahead in the past that you were leading, you were always even 8 points. Like you were always still there was like a shaky leg aspect to it. But now this is the first time that like Arsenal is, I can say, really and truly the team, basically, not just in the Premier League but in Europe. There's nobody fucking with, like, whether it's you've been there. I think you guys got to semi-final or so last season. So like, I want you to take a second and just see, just bask in your own.
No, I'm going. I'm
just
not.
how
I'm
good
not.
guys are.
Yes.
This season,
Thank you for
right?
that layup.
And tell us,
No, thank you for that layup. I'm not
Yeah.
going to fall for the bait. That bait you're trying to set, I'm not going to fall for it. I'm going to go with the traditional one game at a time. One game at a time. It's only match week 10.
wow.
You're only 6 points clear. And as you rightly said, we've had an 8-point lead before in January, February, and then we lost it. You know, so things can happen right now.
No, but you tell me how. How does Arsenal lose? How does Arsenal lose from the position that you're in now? If you can envision it happening, how does that happen?
Anything can happen. Injury to key players, injury to Declan Rice. I think in the last episode of Gunner's Chat Room I did with Johnny Boy, we talked about how if Declan Rice is injured right now, it's going to be chaos. Because a lot of this, the reason why we're top of the league is mostly Declan Rice. Because all those low blocks, we are able to get goals from dead balls because of Declan Rice's delivery. Right now, we don't have any other person that has that kind of delivery. So if Declan Rice is out, just the same way we are saying, if Haaland is not there, where Man City get their goals from? If Rice is not there, where are we going to get those deliveries from? Right? Odegaard does not have the same level of delivery that Rice.
But the response to is like, why you can't have two Declan Rice. You can't have two Declan Rice, right?
Exactly. So that you said, if things are going to happen, where is that going to happen from? I'm just saying it's from Declan Rice. That is our worry at this point in time. Until there's a solution, we don't know.
That's number one.
Number two,
that's like how it's like when Amorim told Kobe Mino that the only time you can play is if Bruno is not playing. That's a scam because Bruno is always going to play. Declan Rice is going to be there. Forget about it. Like he's not going to. He doesn't have injuries.
No injuries. You don't know what happened. He's been playing for the last 3 seasons, back to back. At some point, people's body will give up. Saka is still not 100% fit. There might be.
That's what you guys have done to Saka. It's true.
He limped up in the last game too. Remember that?
Yeah. So
you guys have destroyed
those are scenarios that can happen where we're going to drop points. Players can lose form. It can happen. We can lose 1 or 2 games in a row, and then social media erupts, and we know those players are watching social media, and that will get to affect them as well. Like so many things can happen. But all I can hope for is 1 game at a time. We keep getting those wins, even if it's 1-0, even if it's set piece, no problem. A goal is a goal. At the end of the day, if you win the league, nobody cares how you won the league. If it will be even credit and history to say Arsenal won the league, scoring the most set piece in history. People will be trying to get that history.
Right.
Some people are saying, Mourinho won the league, considering the least amount of goals. Is Arsenal going to do it? At the end of the day, when you win, everything becomes legendary. So give us the set piece goals, we will take them. No open play goals, we will take them. We will take not considering shot on target. We will take David Raya getting his 4th Golden Glove in a row. 1 at Brentford. It will be 3 at Arsenal if that happens this season. We'll take that. We want to put our players in legendary status again. So one game at a time, 1 win at a time. We
Johnny Boy, welcome.
Yes, good time
in our group chat. In our group chat for the fans who don't know, you have been threatening people that they should not let Arsenal win, right? Because if Arsenal should win, clearly, like we're not going to hear
all the haters will hide. That's what I was meaning.
No, and I think the universe has a funny way of giving people exactly what they deserve. Because I'm pretty sure that's why Arsenal will never win anything. That's why I'm also confident. Because
that statement goes both ways. The universe has a way of giving people what they deserve. Because you are always bantering. You're always saying that Arsenal are not going to win anything. What if the universe gives you what you deserve? Then Arsenal wins by a very, very good margin.
No, I'm saying the hits cancels each other out, right? And that 0 plus 0 equals to 0. There's nothing that can come out of this. 50-50, as they say, God no go vex. But yeah, Johnny Boy, opportunity. Tell us how great it feels to be an Arsenal fan now, because I think you've won many hearts. You've been a Madrid fan, Barca fan, I think PSG, Juventus, maybe even Man City. But now you wear the Arsenal badge proudly.
Any club that has a fine jersey, I'm there.
Now you wear the Arsenal badge most proudly, to the point of threatening people like that. So tell us how great it feels, basically. And if you can envision, it's falling apart, or from here it's smooth sailing.
I think this is like one of the best periods as an Arsenal fan because I like to see the tears in my opponent's eyes. All the United fans, Chelsea fans, Liverpool fans, Man City fans, they're always crying on this. If you follow the internet, you see them, they're always crying. Everybody's praying and hoping Arsenal doesn't win the league because they know if Arsenal wins the league, not only are we going to win the league at the counters, at the way things are going right now, but it seems they're going to actually break a record of Chelsea. Because right now, like Dr. Tove said, it's hard to even have a shot on target against Arsenal. We don't look like giving up chances. My own is like
even give up. By second half, people just give up because they know the game is done.
Like against Burnley yesterday, Burnley never threatened our goal. I don't think Ryan made any save yesterday that got me scared or anything.
Yeah, so someone even said maybe
right now
Ryan should start sitting down with the fans because he doesn't even do anything at the back. He's just there, you know.
Yeah, because and that's why he almost cost us a goal. I think it was Palace last.
You guys realize that there was a game this season that he considered like 10 shots or so, right?
Yeah, but that was a long time ago, though.
That was a lot. That was the first game of the season. Come on.
First game against you.
Against United. Please, what was the scoreline?
Okay.
Yeah, shot on target. Yeah,
what was the scoreline? and you know the funny thing, the shot on target, it was only one great save he made, which was the one I think from Dallo, so that I can count as the good save. The other ones were like straight saves that you can expect the goalkeeper to make. So it wasn't as if you guys were making some great ass shots.
Like peppering the, you know.
Yeah, it was like shots that even you, Shelty, will make a save. So I don't really count that. I don't really count that. So us now, like they say, we take game one by one. We still have some fixtures that are tough. I think in November. I think we talked about it before we came on there. We still have we have a week where we are facing Tottenham, Bayern, and Chelsea. That's going to be a tough fixture. So now we're still trying to manage our team. It's almost as if when one player comes back from injury, another player goes off injured. That's almost as it seems like right now. Hopefully,
and
my
again,
squad.
You made a good point. That week also repeats itself again because the second leg is something similar. We're playing Chelsea and Tottenham reverse back to back as well. And another.
Let's do a bit on this injury because I mean, what have you guys done to Bukayo Saka? Right? I mean, you guys are giving him the Wayne Rooney treatments so that when he's 30, you will look like he's 55. Right, and you'll be able to play, you'll be able to run again. Now, as he's like this, he's not the same Saka that he was 2 years
ago. To be fair, I think I brought up that point a long time ago that my fear for all these young players, even I think all those Nico Paz, all those guys, that when you put so much legs in their body at a young age, it tells in the future because God forbid, Saka had a grade 3 tear in his hamstring, which is serious, and I don't think he has recovered from that. And I believe Arsenal rushed him back last season. It was so obvious that he was rushed back because I feel he's supposed to have a period of rest after such an injury. But I think he was rushed back, and you can see that he's not yet fully fit. And that's why I'm annoyed that Madueke got injured when he got injured, because I feel that if he didn't get injured, probably Saka would have been having some rest in between games. But right now, unfortunately for Saka, we can't rest him because I think all of us accumulate more points right now because I feel that down the line, these points are going to count. Because my major fear for Arsenal, like you asking Dr. Toes, what can make Arsenal not win, I feel is the nerves, because we always seem to self-destruct from around March ending, which if you check, is like the key areas or key point in the season, basically the last 10 games. So if we can accumulate our points right now, hopefully when we get to those 10 games left, even if we lose points, it doesn't really count for much.
And before you come out to add something as well in the Mateta running players to the ground, to me it's a double-edged sword, in the sense that on the one hand, all the players are tired, fatigued, all of that. But the other hand, it also means that the players have the endurance to play so many games and cope with it. Because if he didn't start then, right now that we're playing Champions League, Premier League, Champions League, Premier League, back to back, and we need all those young players at the time now to be stepping up. If they didn't have the endurance in their hearts, they didn't have that muscle memory, it would be difficult for them to adapt now. You know, so on the one hand, yes, some players are being run to the ground, but on the other hand, their body knows what it takes to stay competitive at the top end of the.
Thanks to technology, that's what one part technology has helped us with. Because now I think they track all those stuff. It's been tracked.
We all played basic football, right? We played, Covenant University on the field, blah blah blah. But and I'm pretty sure we played with broken toe, headache, flu, whatever. not to talk of if you happen to be Bukayo Saka and you grow up, you want to play. If your manager says, Bukayo, I need you this weekend, just take this injection. You take it, right? And so like it's kind of like a
to include that as well. You know, some players have like attachment, like bonuses attached to number of appearances. So that also plays a role too. Because I mean they have so that also plays a role too. You have appearance bonuses.
They want to play now. They want to play. So it's up to the manager, I think, to be strong enough and firm enough to manage like the time. But let's move on again to, speaking of accumulating points and managers needing to make decisions, to the most interesting team in the Premier League right now, Manchester United. For
not the league leaders, but the 7
no, not
the
leaders.
They are topping the most interesting team table. Since we are all bringing tables every week now.
You see why I wanted to play there so that I can end all this match, because they won 3 games in a row. Nobody wants to hear what again.
No, because everybody
4 games unbeaten too.
4 games unbeaten. Everybody in England, everybody in England, football fans all over the world have gotten an education on the 3-4-3 football system, right? Over the last year, everybody has been talking about it. We've been arguing, does it work? Does it not work? Finally, it seems like Amorim might be getting vindicated, right? For whatever thing that he was seeing in his mind or on the training pitch, it's finally seemed like maybe, just maybe, things might be turning. And then we came to this game against Forest, and for 5 to 7 minutes during the game, it just seemed like everybody just got mental problem. Obviously that mental problem comes from a couple of places, right? And I think the manager could have made a few choices. So, for example, Cunha, I think 45 minutes into the game, 50 minutes into the game, it was clear to me that like it just wasn't his game. And I don't know if it's football manager that's giving me the idea of confidence, but I think you can make subs, you can try things as a manager, right? If you're watching the game and 55 minutes is passing and your attack is not looking good, do something, make a sub. But like Amorim and a lot of all these other managers, I think Arteta as well, they don't like to make subs. Like they don't like to change things or to tweak the formation. So I think that's one mistake that Amorim made. I'm a little concerned about Lenny Euro. That position. I think he might be a fantastic centre back, right? I think he could be a superstar. But
sorry, is it the same Euro that you were bigging up last season, or this
the same Euro?
Okay.
The same Euro. But like this position that Amorim is asking him to play, right? Amorim is asking him to be a centre back and also kind of like a right back and also kind of like a midfielder and also kind of like an attacking player, like, right? So I mean, look, sure, experience, he can execute to an extent. The late when he has to play that position, he can execute to an extent. Lenny Euro has the raw materials, but like the sense that it's needed to like know where to stand so that when an attacker turns you wouldn't be caught flat-footed. He doesn't have that. He still has to learn like some other stuff.
And there's only one place to learn. He has to learn on the pitch. Exactly. You can't learn in training. It's on the pitch. He has to learn.
Okay, that leads me to my third issue with Amorim. How do you expect any of the subs to get any kind of match fitness if they don't play? That applies to Mazraoui, who looked a bit shaky against Forest. That applies to Kobe Mainu, who is only getting 5 minutes here, 7 minutes there. That applies to Joshua Zirkzee, who can't get minutes for love or money, right? And I'm watching Sesko, right, who is having a hard time, a bit. He's scoring a bit, but he's also trying to manage, struggling. And you have a striker who is seasoned, who is bathed in the worst. Zirkzee has gone through his own kind of Maguire situation. He left at halftime, was crying, eventually became a superstar, balled against Arsenal. I don't know. I mean, David, you said you didn't watch the game, but like, from my description, United scored first. It seemed like we're looking kind of like we could do something. And then 5 minutes into the second half, Forest scored 2 goals. Usual United madness. But then in the end, Ahmad quality, we equalized. We had a few chances to get away with the victory.
To win.
Comeback was on. and maybe we're forgetting how to lose. But what do you make of our situation? We currently have, what is it, 17 points? No, sorry, yeah, 17 points. Second position has 19, so we're 2 points behind City.
What position are you doing?
7 points behind Arsenal. And that's a very tough league and decent position is for Amorim to be compared to where we were last season.
Yeah, so I think overall appraisal based on end products and where you are, it's an improvement, right? Having 17 points, being just 7 points off the top of the table is commendable to one extent. But we discussed this, I think, last week and the week before. It will begin to tell when those guys on the bench don't get games and are not match fit, and the guys who are starting games go on a run of bad form, and then you need somebody to to reinvent things, to change things. Last season, Ahmad didn't start the season as a starter, right? I think he started coming off the bench and he was influencing games up until when he got injured. There was a time when Ahmad went on the string of I think 4 or 5 games, either scoring or assisting, and then he got injured. Now we might not have that type of spark this season from anybody off the bench because they are so unfit and they are so far off from the first team that confusion will set in when those guys come into the game. And like you said, it looked like it wasn't Cunha's day yesterday, but you wouldn't find Amorim make a substitution now because 10 games in fact, I would actually say 11 games in because there was that one odd game with Grimsby Town. There are some players who have not.
They want to pretend it's not happening, but yes.
There are some guys who haven't kicked the ball or who haven't played more than 5, 7, 10 minutes, right? Zexi would probably still end up in the same locker room with Malacia as things are going, stay in the club for 2-3 years. Bomb squad, and nobody would know that you're there. You cannot use the same 13 players every week, right? You would have to mix things, around. I don't know if he's waiting for November, December, and January when there's usually fixture congestion, but you need to be able to change things, especially because every other manager is not here to sell plantain. They're also watching you, right? They've seen your system and they've seen your personnel, and they almost know that when the guys you start with, when it's not working with them, there's nothing else to expect from you. Right. So that's dangerous. That is very, very dangerous. When they know you can't tweak it and they know that it's just these guys, as long as these guys don't turn up, we're good.
That's the angle. That's the angle I was taking.
You guys have stubborn managers too, right? You guys you can appreciate.
We've been there.
Manager. Yeah, you've been there. So what's your take on?
There's a method to the madness, and I'm going to say trust the process. As you guys were telling us those times, you guys should trust the process as well. As the angle I was going to take it from is what David have said. The manager right now, like he has been playing those guys, trying Mazraoui, trying bringing in Zexi at the start of the season, was not working. Now he has gotten a group of players that got him the win in the last couple of games. Surely, everybody says don't change the winning team, right? Yes, Cunha was having a bad start of the game, but he's a quality player. He just needs one chance or goal, a half chance. He can score. You don't have, the manager does not have that same faith with Zexi. He does not have that same faith with Mazraoui compared to Amad Diallo.
It's a give and take now.
At the end of the day, so. Yes, they are not having enough.
Diallo is not who you take off. When I say it wasn't Cunha's game, as a manager, you're supposed to have that sense of this guy, today is not your day.
But managers,
somebody else.
They are thinking. They are always thinking. Modern managers, like you said, Arteta is like that. It's about the fine margins, right? There might just be a chance. Who is going to take it? Cunha versus Zexi. Even you as a fan, you're leaving Cunha there. You don't just bring in people just to run around for the sake of running around.
Modern day managers, just to add to what you're saying, modern day managers, it's players they trust, they play. Even if that player is dying, you rather play a player they trust on one leg than to play a player they don't trust.
Well, they have to make sure that the players get used to the system. You guys that are not that strong, sit on the bench, watch how these guys are playing, so that when you come in, this is how you should replicate it. On the one hand, on the second hand, you guys are only playing one game a week.
Right?
You're only playing one game a week.
Your manager,
so the managers have time to recover.
Your manager expertly rotated. Your manager expertly rotated Trossard, for example, right? To the point where like Trossard is like a conveyor belt. He can come in and deliver because there's some games where he starts. He gets games where he starts.
A typical example of this is against PSG, second leg semi-final of the Champions League. Arteta did not make a sub until the 89th minute. Why? 89th minute. 89th minute. That's when he brought in Ethan. Why? Because he didn't
bring on Ethan. Ethan didn't play that game. I talk about second leg. The second leg. Second leg. He brought in Tierney and he brought in Ben White. That's what he did. He brought in the.
So these are the people I'm saying. They think that when a moment of quality comes, these are the people that I trust. You guys are just coming to make it number. It's not about resting and running. It's about that little quality. So all he's saying to them, Mazraoui,
the only way those bench players play is to do what Ahmad did, whereby maybe a first player gets injured. Say, for instance, Kuya gets injured now. Maybe Zexi can come in. And then Zexi now performs to a level whereby the coach trusts him.
Yes.
So now, it's not as if he's going to be a starter. He's probably going to join the bench squad. That's probably what's going
to do. But listen, it will come on earlier. Instead of playing like last 5 minutes, like you said, he will probably come and play the last 15 minutes. And
so his minutes will start increasing until the coaches trust him. Yeah, that's the way it's going to work. We saw this teacher with him. We saw it, trust me, with Arsenal.
No. I was brought up on the one day it's Fletcher in the midfield. Another day it's Anderson or it's Carrick.
Those days are gone, my brother.
I want a manager who is brave enough to say 60 minutes into the game, Cunha, you're a good player. I'm not saying you're not a good player. You're a good player, but you're struggling in this game. Miss him out, see what you can do. Because Cunha likes to carry the ball from back and run to front. But Miss Mount knows how to be the last man in the box. He knows how to get into the box. He knows how to make that behind run. So maybe you try something different. Try something different. Don't just say, this is my guy. See somebody like Diogo Dalot, for example, right? Clearly a blockade. Like there's no, like he has a lot of physical talents, but mentally, he doesn't have what it takes.
But until Amorim signs a defender that is better than Dalot to me is the best that he has in that position, according to him.
And people forget Dalot is very trustworthy. He's never injured. I'm sure in training he's very good in training. They are not. Remember, this is not peculiar to.
This is just one example. Just one example, right? And I'm glad the other Man fan is here, Jude, because what we're talking about now is how Amorim, for some reason,
you guys are emotional. We are not emotional. We're talking facts.
We're talking about how
because we have been there. We've been there. So I'm telling you how it feels like
6.5 years of emotions.
We're talking about how Amorim.
So now
is still struggling in terms of decision making, right? So I was saying that I think yesterday wasn't Cunha's game, and Cunha could have come out from Mason Mount, for example. And then also Sesko wasn't looking like Sesko is a good player. I want to say he's a good player, but we have another striker in the game. If one guy is not delivering for 60 minutes, try somebody else, let them play. And if you want to be able to use your subs, how can they get match fitness if they never play? So Kobe Mino, for example, doesn't play. So Xerxes doesn't play. Mazraoui doesn't play. So when they come in, they are not sharp like everybody else. How you see the game? Did you watch the game? How you see that game against
It's
Forest?
on them to step up in training. For them to
5 minutes of madness.
Sorry, Jude, before you go, whether they step up in training or not, Amorim will have his test in January, right? His entire left is going to AFCON. So he would have to put in players that he has not. Oh, sorry, the right. Sorry, they are left-footed guys on the right. They have not. Whether he likes it or not, those two are going to AFCON, and then he would have to play. He would have to play individuals that have not been playing.
One person will come back early. One person will come back early.
Inverted.
Oh, the only person that is coming back early is Mbumo. Who is coming back early because Onana is a skipper, so we know that one. But Ahmad seems like he might go further, right?
Mazraoui as well. Mazraoui is going to go further because this is Morocco.
Yeah.
Mazraoui is going to go far. So whether he likes it or not, he has to.
Licha is coming back. Licha is coming back.
Right, Jude.
Licha is left hand side.
We can go on now.
For me, I watched a bit of the game. I just feel like somehow we got carried away and we were playing to the other opponent's strengths. Like they were the ones dictating the game more. I think
Sondage, mate, Sondage.
that's the problem. So I feel like in that case, the coach should have, like Shemu said, sub the Sesco and maybe put in more energy. I felt we needed a commanding person in that midfield. That's where I think Meno would have entered and sat down and maybe just distribute the ball instead of everybody running helter skelter in that midfield. Because you can't do that with teams like Bournemouth. You can't do it with Newcastle. You can't do it. I don't know what happened to Brighton, so I'm happy we dealt with them. But teams that can play that energetic
Aston Villa.
run around and this thing, we don't have that pace in our people. They won't be able to do it for 70 minutes. Bruno will be off by then. Cunha won't be going back and forth so it just needs a game change with players that will fit the gameplay. That's what I expected.
To try something different.
That's what I expected. But he took a long while.
The funny thing is when you guys are winning, when you won 3 in a row, I didn't hear about the manager substitute. I'm sure it was still the same style of substitution. We didn't hear that much.
We actually discussed it last week. We had that discussion. We had that talk last week.
I forgot.
I mean, so
I think I'm going to find a second formation that we can adapt.
He is not going to find a second formation. You have to trust in the process. He has to play and play.
I don't have a problem trusting the process.
What you should be saying that you should find another means of winning, not formation means. Like the way Arteta has found set pieces, you should find his own second way of winning.
Ask your players to be dynamic. Your players have to express themselves. You understand?
You can't give what you
don't have. Formation change is not happening.
No, that's a great point, guys. Players expressing themselves. Let's use that to segue. Players expressing themselves. To segue to Jude. Players expressing themselves to some players who definitely expressed themselves this weekend. Players at Spurs that had an interesting reaction to their manager and to losing basically against Chelsea. Spurs lost at home to Chelsea. Let's first talk about Chelsea. I guess Chelsea, Chelsea fans have been through a roller coaster of emotions basically this season. They've gone from world champions to losing against Sunderland to losing against United to today beating Tottenham. Like their fans don't know what to believe. Are they world champions? Are they a fake team? Are they actually worse than Man U? Like I think we're on the same points. Like I mean, David, which is it for Chelsea?
UFC, really. You're on top of the world today. Yeah, I think the thing with Chelsea is you never know what version you're going to get. But more importantly, the team themselves, the players, the coaching team don't know the version of Chelsea they are also going to present, right? I've always said it's vibes FC, right? And they just give what they can give, or what you allow them, what the opposing team allows them to give on the day. And maybe that's the reason why the Spurs players were throwing a fit. I mean, for me, I'll play devil's advocate. I'm saying that two ways. It's a reaction that I'd love to see from Spurs players. Oh, I lost a rival game, I'm angry. But on the flip side, they're throwing the anger towards their own coach.
Chelsea. Still on Chelsea. We'll microanalyze Spurs. But Jude, later. I mean, Jude, we've not heard of Cole Palmer since, right? I don't know. I just remember that, I don't know, he's injured.
Yeah. Still injured.
Yeah. Maybe that was causing Chelsea's problem. But I mean, how do you see the situation that our so-called world champions find themselves?
For me, I just think for Chelsea, the major issue which they didn't tackle in the transfer window, which I also expect them to do in January, is sort out their defense. They're actually okay. They just need to sort out that defense. If they can get that,
didn't they spend money on Tosi, or what's his name?
No. Tosi
Somebody had to.
No, they got Tosin from Fulham. Was that
Yeah.
last season?
No,
That was free, though.
That
That
was
was
last
free.
season.
Okay.
That was last season. So
Oh.
Tosin, this is his second season with them.
They don't look confident. Like that defense is too shaky. You can't guess what you're going to get. You're either getting a red card or you're considering some kind of silly goals that the player is moping and watching the attacker. So for me, that's one. Kopama not being there is also affecting them in terms of their attack. But it's the second season. Parma might not get that much effect.
Well, that's why they have Ghana too now.
Are you trying to mock Chelsea?
I think that's a bad investment. Let's be watching. They will realize soon that Sancho and Garnacho is almost the same. They will soon realize.
It's not no idea how Garnacho. No, that was same day now. Yeah, no, I mean, I think the vibes and inshallah vibe that we're getting from Maresca, I think is no point. That's the vibe I get from him too. There's nothing special about the way they operate Chelsea, honestly, aside from just enthusiasm and endeavor mixed with some quality players, and you get good results every now and then, right? Sure. But yeah, the defense is weak. And I think maybe that's why the Tottenham players felt so aggrieved. Dr. Toes, if you can pull up the screen now, so we can micro-analyze this encounter. Yes. But we were blessed with something from the content gods. Basically, everyone can see the screen. So I'm gonna play this clip of the Spence and Van der Ven blanking their coach, and we can micro-analyze the situation.
This is your Wi-Fi. I need to change network providers.
You mean skip self?
Oh.
Like there's no missing.
You can clearly see
there's no missing it. It's like it's almost
maybe they didn't see him.
But was he trying to reprimand them because he felt as if he was
they didn't hear
them like this?
He's like,
no, it looks like he was reaching for a handshake. That's what it looks like.
Oh, okay.
And they just told him off. Yeah, I can see Jet Spence doing this.
No, although to be fair, when I was talking to Jet Spence,
he looks like he was trying to.
Head. He was pointing maybe like keep your head in the game type of. I don't know, like if you can see it. Let me see if I can see it.
Wow, why is TikTok and Xfinity?
David, have you got it? You can share your screen as well if you have it. I thought you had found it.
No, I didn't.
It's I think definitely going to be the top of Top Sports tomorrow on Sky Sports and.
I mean, I'm sure the entire world will be waiting for a statement from Spurs.
No, so I'm glad you mentioned waiting for a statement.
So let me see if I can
somebody because we have.
I found it. Let me share it. Let me share the clip and then we'll come back to this one. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Can you hear me remove yours from the? You stop sharing. Yes.
Any small thing they just make it a big issue. Players were emotional.
This is the biggest issue, Jude.
This one is a big issue, Jude. Like, see, it's not like get up.
He just say fancy.
Yeah, don't talk to me.
The old manager.
See, no, it wasn't a handshake.
Stay with this guy.
I think he was telling them something. You know, he did like that.
He said, the Spurs say, who is this guy? This is who I think this guy.
I think he was
Even their
having
One more.
Go back to the tools.
Yeah.
he did like that. He's like,
I was expecting a handshake.
It's not a handshake. It's not a handshake.
it's not a handshake. He's doing like that.
He's telling them something.
Spence?
He's telling,
Yeah, he is.
And then Spence is usually referring to him. Spence acknowledges him, but not to him. He's
Yeah.
acknowledging him to it's like
And it's also looking at Mickey as well.
Yeah, look at me. What this gap are talking about?
Yeah, and then it
And
dismisses.
then
Don't mind it, bro. Let's go.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just mad. That's the disrespect of the highest order to me.
And then the rumors start
which
coming
is
on
why-
that the players are bored of him. That they're bored of his tactics.
No, which is why this guy's reaction makes sense. I hope my thing doesn't. I think it's good. Which is why Thomas Frank's reaction is so hilarious. Like it's actually funny, and we're gonna listen to Thomas Frank. Dr. Toes, can pull it up.
Yeah.
All right.
All the players are, of course, frustrated. They would like to do well. They like to win. Like to perform well. So I understand that. I think it's about which is difficult, of course, to be consistent in good times and bad times. That's why I went around to the fans as I did.
I thought you had go for TP. Look, I told you do it.
Yeah.
It's more fun when we win, I can tell you that.
Sam.
Thomas, just to follow up, that is quite a striking image of you looking over your shoulder as the two players walk past you. Is that acceptable for you that they would ignore you and walk off like that?
I think understand why you asked the question.
Wait, so did you guys got the question?
Yeah.
is it acceptable for you, for your players
question that they
to
asked you.
Yeah.
That's a pointed, straightforward question, relatively.
Understand why you asked the question. But I think that's how can you say, one of the small issues. We have Mickey van der Ven and Jet Spence that doing everything they can, and I think they perform very well so far this season. Everyone is frustrated.
So the manager says that's one of the small issues where you have Van der Ven and Jet Spence
So acknowledging
doing
that there's an
everything
issue. That's what
that they
particularly
can.
saying.
Right. And doing everything that they can. And so everyone is frustrated. So the guys are frustrated, which is why they were disrespectful to me. And these are hardworking guys. So it's a problem, but it's a small problem. Panel. I mean, Jude, you said he wasn't disrespectful, right?
Can I just share it so everyone?
Now that you heard.
If you don't mind, can I
Yeah,
share
share it.
Mm,
Without
yeah.
no interruption,
Yeah.
Sorry, because just that part, not the whole thing. Just the part where they ask him that question.
To me, it looks bamboozled. It's like a manager who's under a lot of stress.
But that's
pressure.
weird. He just literally started the job. It's barely 2 months.
It's
2 months.
It's Tottenham now.
And it's not as if Tottenham is like 18th or 17th. They're in top 6.
The big problem.
Am I wrong?
Just to follow up, that is quite a striking image of you looking over your shoulder as the two players walk past you. Is that acceptable for you that they would ignore you and walk off like that?
I think understand why you ask the question. I think that's one of the small issues. We have Mickey van der Ven and Jet Spence that doing everything they can, and I think they perform very well so far this season. Everyone is frustrated. We do things in a different way, so I don't think it's a big problem.
Right. Yeah, sorry, I thought I was sharing. I was listening to it and I was not sharing to you guys. So, yeah. No, for the party said it's not a problem. Come on.
Jude.
Surely.
Yeah. For me, you've heard him now. He said it's not a big problem. Where it will be a big problem is when he doesn't play them next weekend. Then it's a game.
Then they will ask him again.
They'll ask him and keep asking him, and pressure will pile up. So, for me, is that roller coaster of emotions. I think I don't know if it's before the game. I think some Chelsea players were like jabbing them and stuff.
They don't like each other.
Probably they want to win, considering how they are playing now. They want to win. Maybe coach decided to change something in the dressing room that we don't know, and they came out on the pitch and it affected them. You get irritated, but it's disrespectful not to say that the guy did his hand and that way. But it's just how you manage it now is what will determine how his tenure how long his tenure will be. That's what I can say.
No, but like that's what I want to talk about now, right? The managing it part. So, like, first of all, did you read it as a problem? How they reacted? I think you're saying it was a bit disrespectful. And if it's you, Van der Ven is probably, I think, maybe the captain, if not the sub or vice captain.
I think it's the vice captain. Captain is Romero.
It was the captain yesterday.
Captain is Romero.
I don't think Van der Ven really noticed him.
He did.
He did. But
if he didn't notice him, the manager will not talk about him in the press conference. He mentioned the two of them specifically.
The manager noticed him
because he is talking to the two.
No, Van der Ven actually saw him, but turned his face.
He saw the manager and ignored the manager.
Consider that there is noise in the stadium.
No.
You don't need
If you saw that clip,
you see with your ear.
One member of the backroom staff.
You see with your eyes, Jude, not with your ears.
I'm tired.
Jude, wait. One member of the backroom staff approached them just as they were leaving. Approached both of them, and Van der Ven shoved him off too. So that's your proof that he saw him and he
saw him because he doesn't see with his ears. Sorry,
there's something wrong that we don't know that this guy is not telling us in this conference.
No, but dude, he acknowledged that there's a problem. So that to me, I feel that is a big issue because what that thing is actually telling me that the noise I'm hearing so far that the players are beginning to get tired of his tactics might actually be true. And Van der Ven being vice captain too might be a big voice.
And they don't want anger. They want to be going 17 or 18.
So that's my angle. I have two maybe conflicting perspective on this. On the one hand, first of all, no, it's not conflicting. It's just 2 points. Point number one: you don't disrespect your manager at all.
You don't.
Not at all. No matter how you're
especially when you have not done anything. I'm sorry. If it's Romero, I understand.
No matter how you're feeling, you know cameras are on you. At the end of the match, I see cameras walking around you, and then your manager is talking to you. You walk away. Especially Jet Spence, like how?
Yeah, Jet. Like who are you? Thank you.
Like who are you to be?
You were playing his what can he keep from himself?
That's one. And then number two is also shows that Thomas Frank is not cut out to be a big club manager, because how are you letting this kind of like someone like Jet Spence talk to you like that or ignore you and be like, oh no, it's not a problem, or Van der Ven ignore you. Like he needs to let them know it's no longer in Brentford. Like no matter what the manager is, like the manager is his own job is to make you guys
win. Modern day managers.
Right now they're like fifth in the Premier League. It's not like they're like 18th. They are winning lots of games.
That's an interesting angle.
Even if you accept the rumor that they don't like the manager's style of play, but you guys are winning games. You've only dropped points in 1 or 2 games, and you're acting as if you've been losing back to back games. To me, the players are listening to social media hype. If you want to play attacking football, it doesn't matter. The coach is the one telling you how to play, how you win games. If you don't like it, put in a transfer request and leave. You don't just disrespect your manager on the pitch. But yeah,
let's wrap on this point.
He probably wants to say, okay, I will deal with it
Internally,
not to, no, but this is
it's the only way that he can now, right? I mean, David, what do you make of the angle that Toto's brought in? That, like, I think for Thomas Frank, coming sixth with Brentford would be like a wow, great achievement. Like, you're the greatest manager ever lived. But Spurs are in this kind of weird place where sixth isn't considered, depending on how the sixth comes about, it's not really a good place, but at the same time, their fans don't expect them to win the league, right? So they're in this kind of like weird limbo spot where they're expected to be a good team, but not be too good or not be too bad. And I can see how that can be like, obviously it's a much bigger stage for Thomas Frank, but like, do you think that has anything to do with what we're seeing here?
I think it's downright disrespect, because you went to Etihad, you beat Man City, and then you were all high-fiving the coach. So then you lose to Chelsea now, and then it's the coach's problem.
And by the way, they've Tottenham has not beat Chelsea at their new stadium.
Yes.
So it's not even as if like they've always beaten Chelsea, and this is the first time they're losing.
Oh no, Dr. Doug, Tottenham has not beaten Chelsea in a while, period.
Yes.
They've not even beaten Chelsea in a long while.
Like, Chelsea could be bad, and they play Tottenham.
Yes.
Tottenham. That's how bad it is. Yes.
They always know that they pick 3 points. They should call it 3-point lane.
Yes.
Chelsea calls it 3-point lane, So it's disgusting behavior from those players. I mean, it's just 10 games into the season.
David.
Oh yes, it's disgusting.
Talk to me about consequences then.
I'm expecting some fines. I'm expecting probably those two players train alone. But then again, Spurs is a different kettle of fish.
Yeah, and Jennifer said Van de Ven is the vice captain. He is
the vice captain.
Either you can remove the armband from him, type of thing. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I can give you other instances when similar things happen at other clubs, and it was followed by disciplinary action. Xhaka had something similar with fans, not even with the coach, with fans. He was stripped of that armband. All right. Yeah. I mean, so you don't wash your dirty linen in public. Why not vent in the dressing room? Why not vent
or in the tunnel when nobody's seeing yourself? Even the tunnel.
And the thing is, they claimed before the point the manager was even making before that. I don't know if that had to do with it. He was saying that if whether win, lose, or draw, he's expecting him and the players to go and clap the fans. Maybe it's something that had to do with it. Maybe he was saying, "Why are you going to the tunnel? Go and like."
Because he did like this. He wasn't like trying to shake.
Yeah. So maybe it's something like that too. So even if you're angry that you've lost the match, you appreciate the fans. So either way, whether it is tactics that you disagree with the manager, or whether it's the manager telling you to go and appreciate the fans and you are disrespecting the manager, either way, it look bad for the players to ignore the manager. But yeah, I beg, Jude, carry go. I just hope that does not happen at Arsenal. It will not happen at Arteta anyway. You guys, you know you're going away.
Nah, Arteta is Alpha and Omega. I don't think any player can do that.
No, if you try with Arteta is Abacha.
That player is gone.
Transfer request this season.
Yeah. Anyways, man.
I think Thomas Frank has to learn quickly because, like you said, he's no longer in Brentford.
Yeah, please.
Coming six is a big deal. But in Tottenham, 6 right now, I don't think.
Is my network bad? Or am I good? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you again now.
I think.
Oh, okay. So I was saying that I expect that before this week runs out, there will be public statements from both Spence and Van de Ven. Of course, it will have been brokered by the team. There will be some backdoor. Yeah, there will be some backdoor sanctions, and then they will mandate both of them to go and apologize publicly, and then they will give you one diplomatic statement of how it was passion or how they were caught in the moment. You see it happen.
Already said it now. Already said, they want to win. They want to win. Yeah, come on. I just want managers to make an excuse. But please, which United play next weekend? Because it seems like it's like Tottenham, Abi.
It's
Yeah.
Tottenham.
So they should
So let's talk about that one.
That game is going to be sweet.
I'm sure Jude will be and Sean will be expecting that they should drop Spence and
Look,
Van de Ven. Isn't
no,
it? It's not going to
That
happen.
game is going to be sweet.
The punishment must happen after United.
No,
after.
before United.
After.
That game is going to be sweet. You know, drop Spence and Van de Ven, they'll be tough.
They
You
can't
know,
even
play
drop Van
them,
de Ven, actually.
play them and play badly, they'll be tough.
Top bench.
Play them and win, they'll be tough.
This is
There's
where
no
the
way.
conundrum. This is where the conundrum is for.
There's no
for
way.
Thomas
Next
Frank.
week is super.
So if he doesn't play them and they lose, that's a big problem for him.
He needs to.
But then
the
if-
issue has start- the issue
If
has
he plays
started.
them and they play badly, what about if he plays them and they play badly?
I mean, they're already castigating him for not playing Spurs because before Tottenham was saying that he doesn't play Spurs enough. Because before this game, Spurs has always been benched most times. He
This
doesn't
white
play.
player does not respect him, man.
But Udogie, Udogie is injured, so he has to come
He's
in. Like if
injured,
you're a
yeah.
squad player, you're a squad player.
They can use another person
Yeah, let's-
for Man U's game.
I think they've been using Poro, right? Pedro
Yeah, Poro is their right back.
But it's also
You
injured.
see,
But he plays
Oh, he's
Spence on
also
the left
injured
because
too. Oh wow.
Udogie is injured, so he plays Spence on the left.
If
And
I'm
then
the
Poro
one,
on the right.
I'll play keeper at that right back. There's nothing there. Nothing there.
Are you scared of Tottenham? I thought United is so much on form right now. You
I'm
don't
not
play
scared of
anybody.
Tottenham. I'm scared of my own players. I'm not scared of Tottenham.
You should. I mean, they met you 4 times last season, and you know what happened the 4 times.
You're
My own players.
beaten,
I'm
4 games
scared.
unbeaten.
I'm scared of
They
that.
met you
bro.
4 times last season, bro, and they beat you 4 times.
I'm scared of my own players.
It's not the same Man United. Now.
It's
No
not,
worry,
it's
anyway.
not that I gave them the fourth win. Another sure.
I mean,
Okay, guys. Before we get carried
result
away, we said we were going to do this thing. 10 games into the season. Anybody changing their predictions?
what was my prediction again?
Oh. I don't
If there's
recall
anything-
it, though.
The most
I think you were.
is Arsenal first, Man City second.
Yeah,
Liverpool
that's what
third.
you
I still stick Liverpool second. I still tip them second still. I still keep Liverpool second.
I put Liverpool first, Arsenal second. Anybody changing? We're not changing because we know we said we're going to
No,
do this.
no,
to
no, no,
review.
no.
Who was my
No.
third? Sir? My third was City, and my fourth was
No change yet.
my fourth was
Okay.
Chelsea.
No change yet.
I'm not
David,
changing.
ask again after.
January.
Ask
I
again
think by
after Man U
Christmas,
plays.
After
Christmas should
January.
be Christmas should be good time.
Oh, no, where we are.
After the next 2 games. If we beat Spurs, I think we'll
You
be
beat
really
Spurs,
serious.
yes,
for
confidence,
this
hey.
season.
January coming. We're
We'll
not
see.
losing
Are you guys home or away against Spurs? Well, it doesn't matter. Spurs beat you anyway.
It doesn't matter. It's going to be a super encounter.
No, but
Especially
Spurs
what
are,
has
Spurs
happened
are
this
bad at
season.
home, though. That's the problem. They are bad at home. They've
If
won only 3 matches in 18.
Messi Mount will shine. Messi Mount will
is saying
shine.
it doesn't matter. Ah!
Konya will shine. Guemo Diallo, come on,
I mean,
right
if
wing.
you're
Right
doing
wing.
me a favor, you're casting one of my rivals too. So anyway.
I'm not feeling the chest I was feeling 2 weeks ago. What
No,
is that?
I mean, I'm waiting for us to wrap up now. There's no this.
No, is it? I'm not surprised I'm taking the energy off my boy. Last week,
Just one game.
did you notice he
No,
had his jersey? Okay, that was against Liverpool. He had his Man U jersey for the first time. I never seen Shewton on a United
That's what I'm
jersey.
saying.
dropped-
That's what I said.
You
So
drop
see
points
now,
one game,
like Jude said, I'm
completed.
scared of our own players, right? The 5 to 7 minute period that we saw in this game, I think was just crazy.
Yeah, because Nottingham Forest scored 2 goals. Like, yeah, you're right. Within 7 minutes, I think they took the lead.
Yeah,
Like
it
7, 10
was
minutes.
just crazy. So we know that our players are special, right? So I think this game against Spurs, honestly, it can there's Kudus. Spurs have every reason to turn up against us. Everybody turns up against us. We're going to need to be even tougher than
but you guys are saying they
Brighton or any of these
Sports
games.
players
So
are not respecting
win.
the managers.
We'll
Surely
win.
you
We'll
guys
win.
it's a good time to play
And
them.
Sports have so much,
I don't
so
know.
much of a bad home record.
You win 3-1.
It should be a boost. For
I
you
think
guys.
this
Come on,
this
Jude,
Casemiro
yes.
Casemiro.
Jude,
I like that.
that. That's
I
the
like that
spirit.
test.
No, it's true.
That's the spirit, Jude.
By the way,
I
somebody's team striker has not yet scored a goal yet, but my striker scored this weekend. I just want to put that in. My striker
Who
scored.
has not scored?
No, he hasn't scored in a
striker
while. I
has
say he
not
hasn't scored in a while.
Hasn't scored in a while too. He just scored.
I don't
Yeah,
know
but
what you mean by
it's
why,
called,
though.
how are you talking about?
We're just wrap up now, guys.
Just calm down.
It's called the Champions League now, please. Don't
Champions
forget
League.
that.
We're not about EPL. We're not in Champions League. Our
It doesn't
striker will
matter
score like them.
Yes.
So
Okay,
you're not in
let's
Champions
wrap
League.
up.
Wow.
Let's
Thank
wrap
you
up.
for reminding us.
if you guys want
This one against Grimsby.
to lose next week, please press the like button. Thank you very much. And,
if you guys want Arsenal to bottle this season, just subscribe.
I'll press
Press the like button.
Click on the
Roll
bell.
the likes up. Let me go and like it right now.
have a good week, people.